Hi everyone, YourChiWiz, Feng Shui Journey. Thank you for dropping by to my live session today. Everything I do in Classical Feng Shui relies on Chinese astrology, balancing the 5-element theory, and really understanding the qi that is around your environment and space. When I think about Feng Shui, one of my most favorite enhancer is always when we think about Feng Shui plants. Feng Shui plants, there are 3 that are my favorite. As you can see in my kitchen here, we have the bamboo stalks. These bamboo stalks basically can be found in any of your local grocery stores, as well as any of the florists will have that. We will put together a bamboo plant that will incorporate the 5-element theory to really energize the center of your kitchen, which is the heart of your home. That is where the qi is going to permeate as well as go throughout your home. I also create my own Feng Shui planners. So internally in my home, my other 2 favorite plants are the money tree. As you can see here, I'm going to pull it out here a little bit here. You'll see the money tree. Money tree could be placed on its own or individually into its planter, like the one I have here. I also have the ZZ plant. So all of these Feng Shui plants are great purification. They will purify the energy as well as the air quality in your home. Now, many people will say, don't put plants in your room. It depends on the landscape of your space. That bedroom, what is the cardinal direction? Where are you going to put it? I would be more in favor of putting a real planter in my main bedroom versus an artificial one. The combination that I've created here is something that I would place in the Sha Qi of your home. When I talk about Sha Qi, I'm talking about corners that are poison arrows that you want to really diffuse and deflect all of that negative qi. So in here, I basically have my ZZ plant, I have my money tree, and I have some pathos. You could also use jade. Jade is another great planter or plant that you can put into your planter to really make sure you're bringing that vibrant energy, welcoming energy into your home, into your space. Now, another secret around the money tree. The far left corner of your home is considered the wealth corner. It is also the southeast direction. And depending on the flying star, wealth has many different meanings for people. I will also use my money tree in the north corner because that's going to boost career, opportunity, and abundance. Placing a Feng Shui plant in that area is also very good energy. Now, when we think about negative energy, the one common area in our home is the main bathroom. Any of your bathrooms, whether it be the ones with the shower or the guest bathroom. So a great remedy for that is really to create your own bamboo planter. So as a part of my demo here, I've already pre-started a glass vase, as you can see here. You can use whatever type of vase that would appeal to you or that you have available. Think about the 5 elements. When we think about fire energy, earth, wood, metal, and water. Obviously, you're going to have water already, so there's no need to enhance that. When we think about 5 elements, we also think about its properties as well as its color. Black is a water color. Making sure that you're using the right element and its color is also going to be very important to balance out the energy. I also have leftover stones. These stones are a mixture of brown, white, yellow, a little bit of gray in there. So to me, there's the 5 element that is already present in the base. Depending on the vase that you use, depending on the stone or the rocks or the crystals that you use, you basically want to make sure that it's elevated. It doesn't have to be a glass. It could be a ceramic pot. It could be anything that you have available. Now, when we think about the bamboo plants, so these bamboo stalks here, you're going to be placing them into your planters to make sure the more rocks and stones that you have, sometimes you can put sand at the bottom to hold the bamboos together. Now, when we think about bamboo and the numbers, everything in Chinese astrology, as well as in classical feng shui, is based on symbolism. It has its own meaning, making sure that you use the proper number of stalks. 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9 are all auspicious. But when you have 8 or 9 stalks, you're already including the major number of stalks when it comes to wealth, health, prosperity, and abundance. So basically you pick your 6 or 8. I'm gonna go here with 9 because we're in period 9. I've got 4 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these stalks here is now going to formulate my bamboo planter. Now, what is also very auspicious is to add the color of red. There's not a lot of fire here, as you can see, but depending on the color stone that you do use. So the one thing that I usually do when I go to the Asian grocery stores, I always get one of these red bows with the 3 Chinese coins wrapped up here. It is very auspicious. It brings a lot of good luck energy. And I'm just going to put it around one of the stem and the leaf. So it is going to be placed in front so that you could see this. Now, a lot of my clients are like, I don't want a lot of things that really look Asian. You could really just take a red bow, tie it around this bamboo stalk here, and place this in your counter for your bathroom, restroom. So this is a great feng shui energizer for the bathroom because the bathroom has a lot of negative qi. The center of your home is also considered as the health gua or area. So having bamboos, 5 stalk of bamboo would be very great to protect health, as well as putting a Wulu. I have an example of a Wulu here. It's a metal Wulu, but they also have wooden ones. You can also buy a Wulu as a charm and also hang it on your plant too. Again, in classical feng shui, you can see this brass Wulu has a red ribbon, really balancing out the energy to protect your health. There are also examples of a pagoda where you can also lift the top lid of the pagoda and put soil into it, bringing your own external environment qi into your home through the pagoda. So many different ways that you could use feng shui remedies based on the need and also based on your annual flying star. Usually put together a wealth bow, a prosperity bow. This time I'm going to deconstruct a wealth bow that I have created here. Now, size is really up to you. I always gravitate to the vase that is most appealing to me. I found this vase at Target. It's got a it has a gold rim to it. As you can see, my home, my kitchen is all really earth tone, and we're bringing in the earth element into the home because my kitchen is in the northwest sector. Balancing out the energy based on the cardinal direction is also very important. So now when we break down what's all inside here, you will have the red Chinese money envelope. And as you can see in here, I have filled it up with money. So auspiciously, I always put $9 into my red Lisi envelopes or the red Chinese money envelope, and I put that into my wealth bowl. Now, here's a little tip and secret from YourChiWiz. For those who love vases and decorating with vases, I am an absolute big fan of it. In historical Chinese culture, the decoration of vase is a representation of money, wealth, and prosperity. I always ensure in all of my vases, I have a red money envelope filled with money. If you don't want to put $9, you can put 3 Chinese coins, you can put 3 pennies. It's about the intent. It is about bringing and raising the energy of qi and prosperity into that vase, into your home, and into your life. Now, the other thing that I also have here are little Chinese ingots, right? We have real money, now we have some fake money, and then we also have some Chinese coins. Thanks to Amazon, you can get this right at the footsteps of your door if you're building your own wealth bowl. It's also very auspicious for me to include anything that's related to money. So I have money chocolate bars. So I make sure that we have 5 people in our family, we have 5 chocolate bars. No matter where you are, whatever that currency is, you want to put representation, symbolic images, and objects that are money, right? And as I get to travel, I put all the currency that I have left over into my wealth, prosperity, money bowl. Make sure you have that. And then I'm a big fan of crystals. As you can tell, I wear a lot of crystal bracelets. So money comes with me with love, passion, and relationship. To protect all the Chinese zodiac animals in my home, I also want to put some rose quartz. So I have a rose quartz bracelet in here to protect self-love, the love for one another between the Chinese zodiac animals, and especially to your partner, to your husband or wife. I also put in here stones that represent or have words like wealth and prosperity. I always try to find everything that I can. Now, also in Chinese astrology, pigs are a good representation of money. I was luckily able to find these little pink pigs. Aren't they cute? They're so adorable. They're clear. They are present into my wealth bowl. And I always have to make sure I got the Buddha of money. He's carrying and sitting on Chinese coins, as well as carrying a bag of money. As you can see, as you go further into my wealth bowl, I have many other different crystals at the bottom with white stones and rocks. I like to travel to really ensure that there's travel in my life with prosperity and opportunity and abundance. I really want to put some seashells or conch into my wealth bowl. Now, at the bottom here, I've got more money. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a dragon, so I do have my dragon symbol right here. That's going to be in my prosperity bowl because this is for me. Now, the big secret. When it comes down to breaking down a wealth bowl and all the things that you can put inside here, again, it's about intention. It's about what feels good, what is right to you, what money, prosperity, abundance, and opportunity means for you. The energetic footprint of having a wealth bowl is to elevate that. Whether it be to get more money, whether it to be having new connections, bringing prosperity and abundance to your home, it is what is essential for you. 3 secret ingredients that I'm going to tell you that you need to have in here. Ancient Chinese culture, we truly respect rice. Rice is a big symbolic meaning when it comes to money. Having rice, having the ability to eat rice represents wealth and prosperity. Adding a handful of rice, uncooked, into your prosperity bowl is very essential to elevate that chi. Cinnamon is also another secret ingredient that I would also put in here to really give it the aromatherapy as well as elevate the chi that comes with cinnamon. Now, the last thing that is most essential and I think is most important here is putting your intention. Intention setting. Writing it down on a piece of paper, making sure you put the intention either in a red envelope or you can fold that piece of paper and dropping it into your wealth prosperity bowl is really the reason why you want to do this. You're doing this with love. You're doing this with a lot of positive chi energy in terms of what you are thinking about. As I'm building my wealth and prosperity bowl, I have an intention. I know I'm going to put this in the southeast corner. It is for the purpose of whatever to increase abundance, prosperity, or opportunity. I have different wealth bowls with different intentions placed in different areas. This little wealth bowl that sits in this beautiful leaf gold-plated tray with all of my crystals, with my Chinese coins. I put this mini version of a wealth bowl at the right-hand side of my desk. I borrowed it from my office and I brought it here to show you. But this is placed on the right-hand side of my desk to really help energize the wealth area. You could also locate the wealth area of your desk by dividing it into 9 guas. And that is based on the Bagua map. If you go to my website, I have a Bagua map there that you can download that tells you everything about each of the sector, its properties, its elements, its organs, and all the things that are essential for each of those gua. I could put this either on the right-hand side or locate the southeast gua, which is on my desk, and that is the area for prosperity. The other area that is also very important to me when I think about wealth, opportunity, and abundance is the north. The north area of your home, of your desk, is also very auspicious because it is related to the career sector. However, this year, the year of the wood snake, the north has negative flying star energy. So you really want to make sure you put the right remedies in place in that north area, as well as your prosperity bowl to help balance out the chi that may come into that area on a monthly as well as an annual basis. Again, flying star energy moves on a monthly and it also moves on an annual basis. For beginners, I say make sure you put the remedies in place for the annual stars. For those who are more intermediate and advanced like me and religious about Feng Shui, I move and change up my home monthly based on the Feng Shui calendar. And it's just not May 1st, June 1st, July 1st. The Feng Shui calendar is very different to the regular Western calendar that we have each month. So you really want to pay attention to that and making sure that you are putting your enhancers as well as your remedies based on the monthly flying star. The other auspicious thing to do is, because we are in period 9 Feng Shui, move 9 things in your home, whether it be in a particular room or throughout your home. It's going to change up the energy. The other secret thing that I usually use, thanks again to Amazon, is the Alexa. If you want to increase the vibration of a certain area of your home, turn on Alexa and ask Alexa to have the appropriate music. If it's your bedroom and those single looking for love, you want to make sure you have crystals. You want to make sure that you play romantic music to invite that love, romance, chi throughout my home. When I'm not home, when I go out, take the kids to dance, soccer, or go grocery shopping, if there's nobody in my home, I always turn the Alexa on to relaxation, background yoga music. I want to make sure my home is not silent. For what reason? To really ensure that there is energy moving throughout my home while nobody is here. Opening up your windows, opening up your curtains, welcoming in light and sunshine into your home is also another way to activate the chi in your home. The 2 things I do religiously when I wake up in the morning: when I light my incense to pray to my Buddha, I also open the front door. Opening the front door and letting that cool air coming into your home for the few 5-10 minutes is another way to invite the chi into your home. Now, if you are going to purify your home and use sage or anything like that, the most important thing is to open up all your windows. You don't know what negative chi that exists in your home, but when you start to sage your home and you don't open up the windows or the doors, you're not going to allow the negative chi out. Another big Feng Shui remedy that is so critical is called a Saltwater Cure. Now, why do we use a Saltwater Cure? In annual as well as monthly flying star Feng Shui, we always want to make sure that all the negative area that has all the bad energy, whether it be from quarrelsome stars, from arguments, from fighting energy, conflict energy, a saltwater cure can help purify that area. When those who travel, I have a client who travels a lot, before she goes, she always has a saltwater cure in her home. Why? It's going to absorb all of the negative energy or chi that exists in her home when she's not there. Generally speaking, when she comes back, that vase or that jar that she uses for the saltwater cure purifies all the toxin, all the negative energy into the vase, and you will see the foaming of the salt around the rim of your jar or your vase. Your vase, by the time she comes home within that 14, 15 days, should be very little water left and filled with the foam from the salt. If you see it foaming a lot, that means it's doing its job. Get rid of that jar, replace it, do a new one. The good thing about the Saltwater Cure is that it's inexpensive. So, size does matter. When it comes to Feng Shui, especially the negative flying star energy, in that area, if it has a lot of negative chi, you want to have a bigger Saltwater Cure. But if it's only flying in for the month and you have negative energy for that area, you can do a small Saltwater Cure. For the sake of saving salt this time, because I already have my Saltwater Cure in place, for this demonstration, I'm using a small glass jar. The glass jar is good, and you don't want to do anything too expensive. Go to your local dollar store, buy something that is inexpensive, because you always will throw it out. You never retain and reuse the jar that you are making your saltwater cure. You want to use basically sea salt. Right now I have coarse sea salt. So I'm going to basically fill up my jar with the appropriate amount of salt relative to the size of the jar. You want to balance. Again, Feng Shui is all about balance. Once you have that, you are going to get your 6 Chinese coins facing up. When you look at a Chinese coin, you know, there's one side that is like the head of a coin, and then you have the tail. You want the side that has most of all of its design. 6 is a very auspicious number in the Chinese culture, so that's why we use 6 Chinese coin. And as you can see, I'm placing these Chinese coins in a circular motion with the face up. Because of the size of my jar, my coins are going to overlap. So I want to make sure that I am forming a circular shape that has the head of the coin up, sitting nicely on top of the coarse salt. I'm going to use my fingers just to press it down. Once I have that, without turning my tap, I've already had some water prepared. I'm going to pour the water slowly. As you can see, all the coins are still sitting. Well, let me move my hand so that you can see it. It is still sitting properly. And now you want it to be proportioned to the size of your jar. Now, looking at the saltwater cure, I'm just going to use my fingers just to make sure I'm pressing down on the coins there. The last thing that you can do with the saltwater cure here is get a red bow that you can tie around your vase or jar. And it's almost like getting one of these sample here from earlier. So if you get a red string or anything like that, you want to tie that around there, right? Red is going to help bring some of that energetic DNA footprint to your saltwater cure. And then you are just going to simply place that into the impacted negative chi area of your home. And over time, you will see the ability of the saltwater cure to absorb all of the negative chi in its environment, in its space, and it will start to foam throughout the mouth. Again, comment the word chi and you will get a copy of the digital toolkit, but it will give you all the steps of the instructions to really create your own saltwater cure. Putting this in the negative areas. So when we think about the negative areas this year, you've got the southeast area, you've got the east, I've also mentioned the north, and then you can also think about the northwest and the northeast. There are also areas that are impacted by the negative chi of the flying star. Now, when it comes to really thinking about cardinal direction in your front door, really want to make sure that you balance out that front door. Depending on what area it is, based on the annual star, based on the monthly star, the front door is considered curb appeal. It is the area, it's the front mouth of the chi. That's where you want to make sure that it's vibrant, it's clean. So another Feng Shui, hairy YourChiWiz Feng Shui is basically making sure that you have a doormat. The doormat there allows you to raise the element and the chi of prosperity and abundance. So the one thing I do tell my clients is getting a red money envelope, $9, 3 coins, 3 pennies, place that underneath your mat. Why? The energetic footprint, when somebody walks onto the doormat of your front door and stepping on it, they are stepping and energizing that prosperity energy and letting you walk into their home. So that's a good way to really make sure that you're welcoming prosperity, opportunity, and abundance. The other things are also essential. Making sure that the door is working, making sure the area is clean. If you have a front porch, that everything is working, is in proper order, the light, the handles, everything. Nothing is broken. Broken things in Feng Shui is considered taboo, also not good. When it comes to your kitchen and ensuring that your plates, there are no chips, coffee cups, there are no chips. You want to get rid of all that and really re-energize the energetic footprint of your home. When we think about the energetic footprint of your home, we're basically looking at the DNA of your home. Like us, we all have a date of birth. Your home has a date of birth. So to properly calculate the flying star energy that rotates on a monthly as well as on an annual basis, you got to do it right. Contact a Feng Shui practitioner or master to really do all the calculations because the energy moves. I could tell one client, Joe, and one client, Deborah, the same information, but guess what? The home is very different. The DNA of that individual's home is very different because they have a different sitting and facing cardinal direction. Now, on top of that, the individuals who reside in that home also have its own magnetic DNA footprint. And in Chinese astrology, we call that the vases. Everybody has a date of birth from day, month, time, and year. That when you decode your vase, each of those pillars represent a certain symbolic meaning. It's your life path. So you really want to make sure that the Chinese astrology animal decoding those 4 pillars are aligned. In everything that I do, I rely on that omelet calendar. Knowing your Chinese allies, knowing your enemies, your conflicting animals, the time of day that is tied to your astrological Chinese zodiac, as well as the time, is very essential in everything that I do. When it comes to making decisions, my most creative moments are at a certain time. Tying that all together takes a lot of planning as well as diagnosis and really understanding how you bridge Chinese astrology, form Feng Shui, flying star energy, as well as everything that you can do to elevate the chi in your. So crystal trees is also another way that you can elevate, recharge your crystal, and also make sure it brings the right energy into your home, office, or space. In the kitchen, not for today, because of the demo, I always have a plate or a basket of citrus. Combination of 8 or 9 citrus, lemons, limes, and oranges. Having that in the center of my kitchen or the center of my dining room table. Having crystal trees. As you can see above there, I have a row of crystal trees. They have different meanings. A big shout out to Karma and Luck. I love your trees. They bring a lot of energy to me and my clients. It's one area that I definitely rely on this. And then when it comes to a full moon or a new moon, the best thing that you can do is put your crystals outside and charge it. So that's bathing your crystal underneath the sun to re-energize the energy. When you get a crystal tree at home, you always want to make sure you spread out the crystals. You energize it. You can use sage sticks, but the best is to put it out in sunlight. Write your intention and put your intention at the bottom of the crystal tree. For more information, and if you want a consultation with me, feel free to message me. Go to fengshuijourney.com, DM me here on Instagram, TikTok, or on Facebook, and we will set up your free consultation. So for all those who are dropping by, watching this live, I truly appreciate it. Feel free to give me ideas. Watch my YouTube videos. Ask me all the questions there. Me and my team are here to help, to really make sure we spread the good chi about Feng Shui, give you all the practical tips to help you diagnose your current situation, your life path, and help you elevate the chi, the intentions of whatever your heart desires. For more information, again, YourChiWiz Feng Shui Journey. Thank you so much.